What's going on, guys? Doing a head gasket on a Kawasaki FJ400. First thing you got to do is remove the intake boot. It's just a common flathead screwdriver. You take that off. Second, remove the governor linkage. There's a plate right here. It's got 3 screws or 3 bolts. 1, 2, 3. And be mindful when you take this one off, it's got a clamp, and underneath the clamp is a ground wire. So just be mindful when you put that back. Next thing is you got to remove this hose from the carburetor. There's 2 10mm bolts that go on these rods here. So take those off, carburetor slides out with this plate for the choke. So now I'm on to the spark plug. Just move the oil cap like that, get the boot out of the way, start wrenching. Now I gotta get a new boot. But so you take the plug out, and we're gonna move the engine to top dead center. Sorry, this is taking a while. All right, plug's removed. Definitely needs a new one. Next, you're gonna remove the valve cover. There's 4 10mm bolts. I like to use a 3/8 ratchet because I can get in there real easy. This cart's really dirty, so it got dirt all over me. So after you remove the valve cover, you're gonna want to spin the engine. I'm using the clutch. Don't be afraid. The spark plug's removed, so nothing's gonna start. So these engines actually turn backwards, so counterclockwise. So just turn it left until the piston comes up, or the intake valve goes down. And then once the intake valve comes up, you'll see the piston really close to the top. And then how you know is really when both of your valves are loose, your rocker arms here. So next thing we're gonna do is take off these lock screws here, and we're gonna take out the push rods. So stay tuned for that. All right, so when you get the rocker arms off and that lock nut, you're going to remove the push rods. So I just pulled this one out. Now I'm gonna pull the intake side out, and just make sure you put it back the way you took it out. Like I placed mine so the intake is on this side and the exhaust is on that side, and I put them the way I pulled them out, and I'm gonna put them back the way I took them in because they wear differently, so you don't want any problems with that. So the next thing I would do is I put some paper towels in here down to where the valves go, just so you don't get anything in the motor. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so next up, we're going to pull the head bolts, and I already did. So I like to use a 1/2" wrench with a stubby extension and a 9/16. So there's 2 here up front, and then when you put your paper towels in, there's 2 on the side. These are interchangeable, don't really matter which way you put them back. But these, they have valve guides on them. So just make sure when you're back installing this, you got the valve guide back on the bolt. Next up, we're going to be taking off the exhaust system. Pretty sure they're 13mm, so we're gonna do that next. All right, so we got the header off and/or exhaust. So yeah, like I said, there's 13mm or 1/2", whichever one you want to use. The front one's pretty easy. The one in the aft, which is this one, is a pain because of the angle, how they bent the pipe. So what I used a box end wrench, and I kind of just got it loose and then did the rest by hand. And then you got bolts going through this side, so don't lose your gasket. Look, I have mine right here, so I'm just gonna pull that off, put it with the other one. Next, we're almost freed up, so we only got a few more steps and we can get this thing out of here, and they're easy steps. So next, we got to get this cover off. Mine's broken, so I might have an easier time than most people, and there's like bolts missing and everything else because somebody has done this before. So we're going to pull those off, and after that we should just be able to take the head off. So as you can see, I got the head removed. This is where it blew out here on the side. Oh, my phone's being all weird. See the piston's top dead center there? And you can see where we had that head gasket leaking. So it sounded like a Harley, actually 10 times worse than that. So that's our problem. So the next thing we're going to do is take that off. See, it broke the metal ring there. So we're going to take that off, and we're going to resurface this head here. So how I do that is I find a flat surface. People use glass sometimes. I have a board I parallel reels here at the golf course, so I'm going to use that, and I'll show you guys how it's done. I'll probably use some blue Dykem to make sure everything is smooth and ready to go. So I'll be doing that next. All right. This head, the gasket was like caked on there, so I just gently used my wire wheel on the bench grinder. If you have a wire brush, that works as well. So now all we're going to do is resurface this on this plate. You can see we're getting there. It's not perfect yet. So I'm gonna grab some blue Dykem. Let's put a light coat across here on our surface. This is stuff that machinists use. I use it for grinding bed knives. Some people, like I said, cut heads with it. This is so we can make sure that this head is resurfaced nice and flat, and we're getting every corner and edge of it. So I'm gonna let this dry out for a second. And in the meantime, like I said, you just want to make sure this is right, because this is like crucial to making sure that the head gasket issue doesn't happen again. And don't be afraid to try this. Those of you that are watching and don't have much mechanical experience, because it's pretty easy. So I think we're dried out. So we're gonna redo what we were doing. So we almost got all the Dykem off. It's probably hard to see in the camera, but we still have some on this front edge here and right here. So we're gonna keep going. Make sure you apply even pressure to it as you're doing this. still a little on this side, so we're gonna keep going. And for those of you that do have a lot of mechanical experience and are doing this is a golf cart, so it's not gonna be perfect, but we're gonna make it as close as we can. Kind of backyard stuff here, but it works. I've done these probably 200 times. I mean, that's a lie, but probably 15 times I've done this, so. Every time I remove a head, I'll do this. Still got on that spot there. We're almost there. This takes a little bit. And sometimes, I mean, if you can't do this, honestly, it's all right. Just scrape all the stuff off with a wire wheel, but this is sort of the proper way to do it. All right, I'm pretty good with that. It's a good product there. So I'll also be doing, I'll just take a wire brush and get all in here in the head and then clean up the valves a little bit. So we'll be doing that. This thing's a little better. I'm not gonna sit here all day and do it. I mean, at least I got the valves pretty much clean. I'm gonna do the same thing to the piston. I just got some brake clean and a wire brush, so you just want to make sure the stuff is pretty good. And same thing with on this side, you want to get this head gasket off, just like so. It should just come right off without breaking. That's nice. This engine itself probably has like 9,000 hours on it, so this thing has taken a beating, and that's why this head gasket is gone. See, it just broke off right there in that ring. And on the exhaust side, it was just pumping through, and I mean, you could see what was going on in there. It didn't take an expert to figure that out. So like I said, we're gonna do the same thing to the piston head, and we're gonna go from there. All right, so I'm gonna leave you guys off with this. I got a little play in my piston. I mean, it's not like crazy. And so this car has like 9,000 hours on it, so I'm not really tripping about it. I mean, it's got good compression. It runs like like it's brand new, really. So to install everything, you want to obviously do it in the same order. You could play the video back and do it that way. So I will say, with the head bolts, I can't recall the torque spec off the top of my head. You'll probably have to look at that like online, Google or whatever. But I would use blue Loctite. If you guys got blue Loctite, kind of want to stick away from the red, because if you need to pull this off again, that's going to be a pain. Another tip, do not over tighten these, because you will snap the head bolts inside the motor and then you're screwed. And it's not even worth trying to get that out, because you're screwed, literally. What else? Yeah, same thing. I mean, you shouldn't have to adjust the valves, but while you're in there, I mean, on these small engines, I usually do 5/1000ths of an inch for the intake, and I do about 8 to 10 on the exhaust. I mean, really, I stick it close to 8, and they run good. So yeah, just make sure you put everything back the way it was. I'm waiting on I would record this, but I'm waiting on the head gaskets coming tomorrow. So I just thought I'd got some time today and I'd record a video and try to help some people out. I got some other things to do, like a belt. You can see how dirty this thing is. I mean, it gets used every single day. And these Kawasaki's are really good motors. The FJ400s are really nice. They don't have many problems. I've rebuilt a few of them. They're pretty easy, I would say, but I'm not going to rebuild this one because it's just that old, and it is what it is. It's a good cart. So thank you for watching.